You sat beside me, phone in your hand, smiling at a name I couldn't see. I laughed it off, said it's nothing, while something broke quietly in me. Your eyes were here, but not your heart. You were already somewhere else. I felt it then, in that small moment. I wasn't first, I was second best. I asked if everything was alright. You said, yeah, don't overthink, but love doesn't feel like guessing or standing on the edge of a sink. It was the night I felt second best, when your attention slipped away. I gave you my whole heart to hold. You gave me reasons not to stay. I stayed quiet, swallowed the hurt, tried not to read the signs, but love shouldn't make you feel replaceable in the middle of the night. You said my name without meaning, like it was someone you used to know. I memorized the distance growing in every word you didn't show. I waited for reassurance, for something warm, something true. But your silence said everything. You were choosing something new. I kept hoping it was in my head that I was wrong somehow. But when love feels like competition, it's already breaking down. It was the night I felt second best, when your attention slipped away. I gave you my whole heart to hold. You gave me reasons not to stay. I stayed quiet, swallowed the hurt, tried not to read the signs, but love shouldn't make you feel replaceable in the middle of the night. If I could talk to my heart back then, I'd tell it not to beg. Love shouldn't feel like waiting for someone else to be finished. Instead, I deserve a love that chooses me without hesitation or doubt, not one that makes me feel optional when the lights all go out. It was the night I felt second best, but it won't define who I am. I'll walk away with my heart intact and learn to make my own stand. I won't compete for someone's love or fight to be seen, because real love never leaves you wondering. I deserve more than this. I watched your eyes drift away while I held on to what we had. I whispered hopes into the dark. You barely noticed, never asked. I tried to bridge the silence, tried to fight what I could see, but love that's losing weight quietly hurts the heart it leaves in me. I told myself to ignore it, pretend it all was fine, but the truth hangs in the shadows, where love begins to decline. You love me less, I felt it in every word you didn't say, in the empty spaces beside me, where your heart had slipped away. I gave you everything I knew, while your warmth grew cold and small. You loved me less, I felt it, and I carried the weight of it all. I counted every little sign, hoped it wasn't true, but every missed embrace, every quiet glance told me I was losing you. I held on through your distance, even when my hands were bare. I learned that love can fade silently and leave nothing left to share. I whispered, maybe it's just tired, maybe it will return, but the heart knows the truth, even when the mind will not learn. You love me less, I felt it in every word you didn't say, in the empty spaces beside me, where your heart had slipped away. I gave you everything I knew, while your warmth grew cold and small. You loved me less, I felt it, and I carried the weight of it all. If I could speak to my younger heart, I'd tell it not to stay. Love shouldn't feel like pleading or bending yourself that way. Some hearts love quietly, some hearts just drift apart, but feeling less in someone's love cuts deeper than the heart. You loved me less, I felt it, and I finally let it go. I'll take the pieces of my heart and let them finally grow. I won't chase a fading light or a warmth that isn't true. You loved me less, I felt it, but I'll learn to love me too. I held on when you let go, felt the absence in your eyes, but I'll find a love that chooses me. where my heart never cries. Kept the light on in the window long after you stopped coming home. I told myself your silence didn't mean I was alone. I learned the sound of absence like it was part of me. I stayed in all the waiting where love used to be. I called it patience, called it faith, and called it something brave. But waiting starts to hurt the most when there's nothing left to save. This is a heart that waited past hope, past maybe, past someday. I held on when even belief had already walked away. I stayed loyal to the ghost of you when the truth was hard to cope. This is a heart that waited past hope and finally learned to let go. I defended you in conversations you were never part of anymore. I built a future in my head, you had already closed the door. I mistook your distance for something I could fix, but love can't live in one-sided dreams or survive on broken myths. I thought love meant endurance if I just stayed strong and true, but hope doesn't mean much when it's only held by you. This is a heart that waited past hope, past maybe, past someday. I hung on when even belief had already walked away. I stayed loyal to the ghost of you when the truth was hard to cope. This is a heart that waited past hope and finally learned to let go. If I could speak to who I was in those endless nights, I'd say love shouldn't feel like waiting without any sign of life. So the heart they out of fear, some stay out of pain, but a heart that waits past hope learns the cost of staying. This is a heart that waited past hope, but it still knows how to feel. I won't chase someone's shadow. I'll choose something real. I'll carry what I gave with pride, not shame or self-blame. This is a heart that waited past home and survived the pain. I waited longer than I should, but I love the best I knew. And even past all hope, my heart was honest too. You answered when it was convenient. Love me in between your plans. I waited on maybes and silences, with my heart in shaking hands. You said you cared, just not right now. Like love could pause and stay. I smiled through the disappointment, while pieces of me slipped away. I told myself not to need too much, not to ask you to choose. But love shouldn't feel like a question of being kept or being used. This is when I felt like an option, not a choice you'd fight to keep. I gave you all my loyalty, you gave me half beliefs. I stayed available, open, true, while you kept doors open too. This is when I felt like an option. It broke me in two. I learned your distance by heart, knew when not to call. I made myself smaller and quieter, so I wouldn't scare you off. I celebrated the bare minimum, called it love somehow. But deep inside I knew the truth. You weren't choosing me now. I confused patience with waiting and hope with staying strong. But love shouldn't feel like standing still while someone else moves on. This is when I felt like an option, not a choice you fight to keep. I gave you all my loyalty, you gave me half beliefs. I stayed available, open, true, while you kept doors open too. This is when I felt like an option, and it broke me in two. tell it not to beg. Love doesn't put you on a shelf until someone else is done instead. Some hearts only take the comfort, not the weight of something real. But feeling like an option shows you exactly how they feel. This is when I felt like an option, but I won't stand her again. I deserve to be chosen fully, not almost, not if or when. I'll take my heart from in between, from love that can't commit. This is when I felt like an option, and I finally walked away from it. Some love leaves you wondering where you stand each night. But real love never makes you guess if you matter in its light. I held your name like a promise, even when you stopped holding mine. I defended us in empty rooms while you crossed every line. I stayed when silence grew louder, when your heart started to roam. I made a home out of waiting while you felt less like home. I told myself love was patience, that loyalty meant stay. But I was the only one fighting for a love slipping away. I stayed faithful to a fading love when the spark was barely alive. I gave my all to keep us breathing, while you just let it die. I chose you every lonely night, even when you didn't choose me. I stayed faithful to a fading love, and it broke something in me. I ignored the cracks between us, called distance just a phase. I turned your doubts into excuses, and your absence into grace. I watched you slowly drift away, while I stayed right where you were. I kept believing in forever when you weren't even sure. I thought commitment could save us if I just held on tight. But love can't live on one heart, trying to be both sides. I stayed faithful to a fading love when the spark was barely alive. I gave my all to keep us breathing, while you just let it die. Staying faithful to a fading love is the hardest thing I know. I stayed faithful to a fading love, but I won't do that again. I deserve a love that shows up, not one that just pretends. I'll take my heart back gently now, let it finally be free. I stayed faithful to a fading love, but now I'm choosing me. I kept the vows you never made. I stayed when you moved on. But even the truest love learns when it's been holding on too long. You stopped asking how my day was, stopped looking when I spoke. Your arms were here, but not around me, like a promise someone broke. I felt the space grow in the silence, long before you said a word. Every smile felt like pretending, every we felt slightly blurred. I tried to fix what wasn't breaking, you were already gone. I kept holding on to us while you were holding on to none. It was the goodbye that was already there before you ever said a thing. I felt you leave in the quiet moments, in the love you didn't bring. I stayed hoping you would come back to me while you were halfway out the door. It was the goodbye that was already there, long before we weren't us anymore. You loved me like a habit, easy to forget. I memorized your distance and every unkept bed. I waited for reassurance, for something real to hold, but your heart had made its choice. I was just the last to know. I called it just a phase, so I wouldn't fall apart. But tonight only softens the sharpest break in your heart. It was the goodbye that was already there before you ever said a thing. I felt you leave in the quiet moments, in the love you didn't bring. I stayed hoping you'd come back to me while you were halfway out the door. goodbye that was already there, and I finally let it be. I stopped begging for your presence and chose what's left of me. I'll take my heart from empty rooms where love no longer stays. It was the goodbye that was already there, and I survived the days. Some endings come softly without a final tear, and the hardest goodbyes are the ones that lived in fear. You moved through days like I was there, like I'd already slipped your mind. I waited for the ache to show, some sign you felt the time. I kept your space warm in my bed, your name close to my heart, but you slept fine without me there, like missing me was never hard. Thought distance would hurt us both, but it only hurt one side. You found peace in my absence while I was breaking inside. This was the love that didn't miss me, didn't look back, didn't ache. I disappeared from your world, and you barely felt the change. I carried through empty nights, you slept without regret. This was the love that didn't miss me, and I don't know how to forget. I searched for me in your silence, for proof I still belonged, but every unanswered moment told me I was wrong. I held into memories like they'd pull you back to me, but love that doesn't miss you has already set you free. I kept hoping you'd feel it too, that hollow breaking but I won't stay where I'm unseen. I deserve a love that feels my absence and knows what I mean. I'll take my heart from empty rooms where I was easy to forget. This was the love that didn't miss me, and I'm learning to let. Some goodbyes echo loudly, some fade without a sound, but the quietest ones hurt the most when you're the only one left around. I felt it in the way you looked away, in the words you chose not to say. The warmth that once filled your eyes had slowly dimmed beneath the lies. I gave my all, I stayed awake, hoping love would keep you safe. But hearts can fade without a fight, and yours grew tired in the night. I told myself love could heal, that patience would be enough. But even the strongest heart breaks when the other stops the love. When your love grew tired, I was still burning bright. I held our world together through every lonely night. I reached for your hand while you drifted away. When your love grew tired, I was the one left to stay. Counted every little sign, hoped it wasn't true. Every missed call, every quiet glance showed me I was losing you. I tried to fill the empty spaces with whispers and devotion, but love that's tired of trying leaves only sad emotion. I whispered maybe it's a phase, hoping it would mend, but some hearts fade slowly before the final end. When your love grew tired, I was still burning bright. I held our world together through every lonely night. I reached for your hand while you drifted away. When your love grew tired, I was the one left to stay. If I could speak to who I was in those fading days, I'd tell my heart not to fight alone, not to shoulder all of the blame. Some love can't be saved, no matter how much you try. And when your love grew tired, it was time to say goodbye. When your love grew tired, all the years. Some endings come quietly, long before the heart is free and the hardest truth to face is when love stops loving me. I watched you fade in little ways. The laughter left, the light delayed. I held on tight to what we knew, but slowly love stopped reaching through. I tried to mend the cracks you left, hoped your heart would feel my depth. But some love drifts without a fight, and I was gone from your sight. I told myself you'd come back, that hearts don't leave this way. But love can turn and leave you still, with words you can't make stay. I wasn't what you wanted anymore. I gave my all, but it wasn't enough. I stayed awake through empty nights, while your heart grew cold and tough. I held on while you walked away, kept hoping you'd see what's true. I wasn't what you wanted anymore. Somehow I lost you. I read between your silences, found all the things you leave. I learned that love can wither slow, and hearts can quietly grieve. I gave my voice, my every part, but you only took then left. Some hearts can't see the love they break until it's gone and bereft. I told myself it wasn't real, that distance wasn't true, but the absence in your eyes spoke everything I knew. If I could speak to my younger heart, I'd whisper, guard your flame. Love shouldn't hurt like this, or leave you feeling blamed. Some hearts take without giving, some hearts only choose. And when you're no longer wanted, all you can do is lose. I wasn't what you wanted anymore, but I'll find a love that sees, a heart that stays, a heart that fights, a love that isn't leaving me. I'll rise from all the nights I cried and heal the scars you made. I wasn't what you wanted anymore, but I'll find the love that stays. I wasn't what you wanted anymore. Now I let it rest. I held my heart out in my hands, hoping you'd finally see all the love I gave freely, all the pieces of me. I waited through your silence, I stayed through all your lies. But love that needs convincing is love that slowly dies. I thought if I loved enough, you'd finally stay. But some hearts aren't meant to hold what they let slip away. The day I stopped begging was the day I found me. I walked away from shadows and let my heart breathe free. No more pleading, no more waiting, no more silent cries. The day I stopped begging was the day open my eyes. I counted all the nights I stayed awake for you, hoping your love would notice all the things I do. I shrank myself to fit your world, hid pieces of my soul. But you were never ready to give back what I stole. I mistook your distance for a test I could pass. But some love isn't meant to stay, it only teaches how to last. The day I stopped begging was the day I found me. I walked away from shadows and let my heart breathe free. No more pleading, no more waiting, no more silent cries. The day I stopped begging was the day I opened my eyes. If I could tell my younger heart the truth I know today, I'd say love shouldn't hurt this much, and you don't have to stay. Some hearts leave quietly, some hearts let you go. But the strongest love you'll ever find is the one that lets you grow. The day I stopped begging, I reclaimed my name. I left the love that broke me and refused to play its game. No more shadows, no more chains, no more silent cries. The day I stopped begging was the day I learned to rise. I held my heart back once too long, but now it beats for me. The day I stopped begging was the day I found me free. I reach for you in the darkness, when my feet lost solid ground. I called your name in a whisper, but you never turned around. I carried us through the silence, through the cracks I couldn't see. I trusted you to catch me, but you just watched me bleed. I thought love meant standing together when the world starts closing in, but you stayed perfectly still as I was losing my grip. This is when you let me fall alone, when I needed you the most. I gave you all my faith and hope. You let go, I held on close. I hit the ground with your promises still echoing in my bones. This is when you let me fall alone and called it letting go. I defended you in my prayers, in rooms you never entered. I blame myself for the distance, while you stayed comfortably centered. I kept believing love would save us if I just stayed strong and true. But love can't live on one heartbeat, trying to be for two. I ignored the warning signs, called your absence space, but space feels like abandonment when love won't show its face. This is when you let me fall alone, when I needed you the most. I gave you all my faith and hope. You let go, I held on close. I hit the ground with your promises still echoing in my bones. This is when you let me fall alone and called it the loving room. If I could speak to who I was before the silence grew, I'd tell my heart not to wait for someone who won't choose. Love shouldn't feel like free fall with no one there below. You don't call it love when you watch someone fall and go. This is when you let me fall alone, but I'm learning how to stand. I'll gather every broken piece with my own shaking hands. I won't trust the love that leaves when things get hard or cold. You let me fall alone that night, but I won't fall like that again. Some wounds teach you everything you tried so hard to deny, and I rose from the fall you left me in, while you just walked by. I gave my heart without a second thought. Every piece, every fear, every scar. I stayed when the nights were empty, hope my love would reach where you are. I let you in too easily, Open doors I should have kept. I poured my soul without caution while you quietly stepped. I told myself love was brave, that giving meant being true. But some hearts take without returning and leave you feeling used. I'm a heart that gave too freely, loved too much for one alone. I built castles with my fingers while you were already gone. I stayed through all your silence, waited through your lies. I'm a heart that gave too freely, and I don't know why. I smiled through your indifference, made excuses for your way. I let my love be a river while you walked through it like rain. I fought for us in shadows, hope for sparks that never came. I learned that giving endlessly can sometimes burn like flame. I told myself love was patient, that it could heal the pain. But some hearts can't feel the same, no matter what you gave. I'm a heart that gave too freely, loved too much for one alone. I built castles with my fingers while you were already gone. I stayed through all your silence, waited through your lies. I'm a heart that gave too freely, and I don't know why. If I could talk to my younger heart, I'd whisper, to protect the fire, love should be a two-way street, not a test you always tire. Some hearts take without thinking, some hearts leave without care. A heart that gives too freely can end up empty, bare. I'm a heart that gave too freely, but I'll learn to hold it tight. I'll give to those who see its value and cherish its light. I'll build my walls around wisdom, not around fear or blame. I'm a heart that gave too freely, but I'll love without shame. I gave too much, I lost too deep, but my heart is mine to keep. A heart that gave too freely will rise again from grief. I used to feel you leaning closer, now I'm the only one who tries. I read the truth between your words and see it hiding in your eyes. I carry conversations you've already let go. I fight for every moment while you just let it flow. I told myself you were just tired, that love still felt the same. But excuses don't feel warm at night when someone's drifted away. This is when love became one-sided, when my heart did all the work. I gave you all my time and patience, you gave me silence and hurt. I kept reaching for your hand while you pulled further away. This is when love became one-sided and I started breaking every day. I stayed through all the quiet spaces, called distance needed room. I waited on you, I'll be there, while you never came through. I learned to read your absence like it was something I should know. I kept loving through the emptiness while you let our feelings go. I thought love meant staying longer if I just loved enough. But love shouldn't feel like proving that you're worth someone's touch. This is when love became one-sided, when my heart did all the work. I gave you all my time and patience, you gave me silence and hurt. I kept reaching for your hand while you pulled further away. This is when love became one-sided and I started breaking it. If I could speak to my younger heart, I'd tell it not to beg. Love shouldn't feel like waiting for someone to choose you instead. Some hearts only take the comfort, not the weight of something real. But one-sided love will teach you exactly how you feel. This is when love became one-sided, but it won't stay that way. I'll take my heart where it's wanted, not somewhere I have to stay. I deserve a love that reaches back, that meets me halfway too. This is when love became one-sided and I finally chose me over you. Some love fades quietly without a final fight, but walking away from one-sided love is how you survive the night. I gave you every open door, every truth I had inside. I stayed when leaving hurtless, I swallowed all my pride. I learned your silence by heart, knew when not to speak. I kept shrinking my feelings so yours wouldn't feel too deep. I thought love meant adjusting until there was nothing left. I kept bending into pieces you never tried to protect. This was a love that needed less of me, less questions, less care, less truth. I loved you loud, you loved me lightly, like I was easy to lose. I did my light to keep you close, but still you couldn't stay. This was a love that needed less of me, and I paid the price that day. turned my needs into secrets so you wouldn't feel confined. I gave you all the best of me, you left the rest behind. I mistook distance for patience and absence for trust. I held on to the bare minimum because I thought I must. This was a love that needed less of me, less questions, less care, less truth. I loved you loved me lightly, like I was easy to lose. I did my life to keep you close, but still you couldn't stay. This was a love that needed less of me, and I paid the price that day. If I could speak to who I was, I'd say don't disappear. Love shouldn't cost your voice or reward your fear. Some hearts want comfort, not death, not the weight of something real, but a love that needs less of you was never meant to heal. This was a love that needed less of me, but I needed more than that. I deserve a love that stays awake when my heart speaks back. I won't fold myself smaller now just to make someone stay. That love needed less of me, so I finally walked away. I'll love again without apology, without hiding who I am, because real love doesn't ask you to love with less of your hands. I walk to empty spaces where your laughter used to be. I reached for your hand in the dark, but there was no one next to me. I traced the memories in silence, hope they'd bring you back. But love can fade without warning and leave the heart off track. I told myself it was a moment that you'd soon return, but the stillness whispered truth. My heart began to burn. That's when I realized I was alone. No more you, no more home. I carried all the pieces of a love that's gone. I waited through the echoes of the life we shared, but when I realized I was alone, there was no one there. I counted every quiet glance, hoped it wasn't true. Every empty word, every missed chance showed the distance that grew. I held on to the shadow wall, prayed for a spark to stay, but some love drifts away slowly. Even when hearts wanna stay, I whispered maybe it's a dream, maybe you'd come back to me. quiet light. Some hearts leave quietly, some hearts choose to roam. The hardest lesson of all is realizing you're alone. That's when I realized I was alone. But I rise from the pain. I'll gather all the pieces and learn to love again. I'll hold on to the love that stays, not what slipped away. When I realized I was alone, I found myself that day. Some endings are silent, some fade like the dawn. The hardest truth to face is that you're finally alone. I watched it slip between our hands, the love we built, the dreams we planned. I called your name in empty rooms, but all I found was silent tombs. I fought for us through every storm, kept believing love would keep us warm. But some hearts walk away too fast, leaving only shadows of the past. I told myself love could mend, that patience could hold you near. But some hearts can't fight for two, and some love disappears. This is the love you didn't save, the one we let fall apart. I gave my soul, I gave my all, but you broke the beating heart. I stayed by your look the other way, hoped you'd fight, hoped you'd behave. This is the love you didn't save, and now I'm on what couldn't stay. I counted every quiet sign, hoped it wasn't truly gone. I tried to fill the empty space with hope that you'd hold on. I built our dreams from my own hands, believed in every vow. But love that's left unguarded slips away somehow. I whispered maybe it's just tired, maybe we'll find our way. But some love fades quietly before the final day. This is the love you didn't save, the one we let fall apart. I gave my soul, I gave my all, but you broke the beating heart. I stayed while you looked the other way, hoped you'd fight, you chose to wave. This is the love you didn't save, and now I'm free to break. Some love dies silently, even when hearts try to stay. The hardest truth to face is the love you didn't save. I gave my heart without a question, held your dreams above my own. I waited through your silence and forgave the things you'd shown. I bent myself to meet you in ways you never knew. I built a world around your love while you barely followed through. I told myself love meant patience, that staying made me strong. But staying when you barely try is where everything goes wrong. I loved you more than you tried, more than your heart could see. I stayed awake through storms alone while you were drifting free. I gave my all, my every piece, while you just let it slide. I loved you more than you tried, and it broke me deep inside. I memorized your every word and read the spaces in between. I made excuses for your distance and the love I never seen. I carried all the weight of us while you let it fall apart. I fought for something real while you barely played your part. I thought love was enough if I just held on tight, but love needs two hearts awake, not one in endless night. I loved you more than you tried, more than your heart could see. I stayed awake through storms alone while you were drifting free. I gave my all, my every piece, while you just let it slide. I loved you more than you tried, and it broke me deep inside. If I could speak to my younger heart, I'd tell it to hold less, God more. Love shouldn't feel like pleading or living on a one-sided shore. Some hearts give without return, some hearts barely try, and loving more than someone else is a quiet, endless cry. I loved you more than you tried, but I won't stay in that pain. I'll give my love to someone awake who fights in the sun and rain. I'll take my heart and heal the cracks left by someone who lied. I loved you more than you tried, and now I'm learning to survive. I gave my all when it was not enough, but love should never hurt so much. I loved you more than you tried. Now I'll rise from the kept your name like a promise, even when you stopped calling mine. I stayed through all the quiet changes, said we're fine 1,000 times. I fixed what you kept breaking, made excuses when you'd go. I loved you through the distance, long after you let go. I told myself love was patience, that staying made me strong. But strength can turn into silence when you've been waiting too long. I held on too long to a love that was already gone. I kept believing in someday while you were moving on. I gave you my whole heart, you barely gave me a sign. I held on too long and I lost pieces of mine. I learned to read your absence like it was something I deserved. I memorized your excuses, every word you never meant. I stayed when leaving felt selfish, I stayed when staying hurt. I thought loving you would save us, but it only made it worse. I confused fear with loyalty and hope with staying strong. But love shouldn't feel like drowning in something that's been wrong. I held on too long to a love that was already gone. I kept believing in someday while you were moving on. I gave you my whole heart, you barely gave me a sign. I held on too long and I lost pieces of mine. If I could speak to who I was in those endless nights, I'd say love shouldn't feel like begging or dimming your own light. Some hearts stay out of habit, some stay out of fear. But holding on too long costs more than letting go ever could, my dear. I held on too long, but I'm learning how to release. I'll choose a love that chooses me, not one that steals my peace. I'll gather all the parts of me I left behind in you. I held on too long, I'm learning how to choose. I don't regret the love I gave, only that I stayed so strong in a place that never loved me back. I just held on too long. I felt it in the silence, the distance in your gaze, the words you left unspoken, the love that slipped through days. I held on to our laughter, tried to make it last, but every quiet moment told me this would pass. I told myself not to worry, not to read the signs, but love has its own language and yours spoke. goodbye lines. It was a goodbye I saw coming long before you walked away. I felt it in the shadows where your heart began to stray. I gave my all until the end, while you quietly let it fade. It was a goodbye I saw coming, and yet it still left me afraid. I memorized your smiles, tried to hold what wasn't mine. I waited for reassurance, but there was no sign. I defended us in my prayers, hoped we'd make it through, but some love slips away slowly. No fight, no final view. I ignored the empty spaces, hoped your heart would stay. But a goodbye comes softly, even when you want it to stay. It was a goodbye I saw coming long before you walked away. I felt it in the shadows where your heart began to stray. I gave my all until the end, while you quietly let it fade. It was a goodbye I saw coming, and yet it still left me afraid. If I could speak to my younger heart, I'd tell it to prepare. Some love doesn't need a battle, it just slowly disappears. You can love with all your being and still lose to the end. A goodbye I saw coming still hurts more than it's fair. It was a goodbye I saw coming. I'll carry on somehow. I'll take the love that stayed behind and learn to live without. I'll mend the pieces of my heart that fell along the way. It was a goodbye I saw coming, but I survived the day. Some endings whisper softly long before they're true, and the hardest ones to face are the ones you already knew. You were still right next to me, but already far away. Your laughter didn't reach your eyes, your I love you felt rehearsed to say. I felt the shift before the words, before the nights alone. You stopped sharing pieces of you, and I felt it in my bones. I tried to pull you closer, you pulled further inside. I kept fighting for your presence while you were learning how to hide. You left emotionally first, long before you said goodbye. I stayed holding on to us while you were letting it die. Your body stayed, your heart moved on. I loved what used to be. You left emotionally first and left the rest to me. You stopped asking how I felt, stopped hearing when I cried. I learned to talk to silence, with you standing by my side. I carried all the effort, I begged for something real, but love shouldn't feel like proving you deserve to be felt. I blame the stress, the timing, anything but the truth that you were already leaving while I was still choosing you. You left emotionally first, long before you said goodbye. I stayed holding on to us while you were letting it die. Your body stayed, your heart moved on. I loved what used to be. You left emotionally first and left the rest to me. If I could speak to who I was in those lonely days, I'd say love doesn't fade suddenly, it slips away in quiet ways. Some goodbyes don't need words, they live in how you change, in the distance growing daily, in the love you don't maintain. You left emotionally first, but I won't stay where I'm unseen. I deserve a love that stays awake when my heart needs to be seen. I'll take my heart from empty rooms where silence replaces trust. You left emotionally first, but I'm choosing myself now, not us. You didn't leave all at once, that would have been